Now let's get some rapid-fire response from our panel on these stories. Hey, Tan Man, there's no crying in the Speaker's office. Nancy Pelosi slams John Boehner for his tearful theatrics on the House floor. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton says she has no plans to run for president again. And psycho talker Michelle Bachmann won't back down on her claim that President Obama is, quote, anti-American. Joining us tonight, Laura Flanders, host of Grid TV and editor of the book At the Tea Party, and Scott Hennon, conservative talk show host and conservative activist, with us tonight. Great to have you with us. Let's talk about Michelle Bachmann. Here is the sound cut. She did an interview with the BBC, and here's what she said.
You've suggested that President Obama is anti-American. Do you really believe that?
Well, you know, I've been very concerned about the policies that have come out of the White House, and I think I share that agreement with people who voted at the ballot box on the first Tuesday of November. They're rejecting the federal government foray into buying and owning an equity share.
But that's a different thing.
Businesses.
Do you think he's anti-American? Do you think that the President of America is anti-American?
Well, the policies that are anti-free enterprise are ones that are not familiar to the people of the United States.
Laura Flanders, she won't back down. What do you make of it?
Well, good for the BBC reporter there. You know, two things. One, what's anti-American is what Katrina vanden Heuvel's talked about at the top. 60% of all of the income in this country going to the top 1% in the last decade. But, you know, what is really going on here is the party of no, is the party of no ideas. This should have stopped on Election Day. But no, it's distract, divide. There is nothing constructive coming out of the Bachmanns of the world, just this same old stuff. Are they going to keep it up for the next 2 years? And what do they think's the outcome?
Well, first of all, Ed and Laura, I believe it's Barack Obama 0, Michelle Bachmann 1. If you look at the results of the recent election, the more Americans agree with Michelle Bachmann than agree with Barack Obama. Second of all, she's talking about his policies.
Wait a second. Anti-American. Is the President of the United States anti-American? And when she was asked that direct question, she would not back off it. When does the rhetoric stop? No. I mean, you know Michelle Bachmann. I'll let you answer. I mean, what's happening here?
Well, she answered very clearly. She believes his policies are anti-American. I don't believe she's saying anything that the American people don't agree with in overwhelming numbers, that the policies of this administration are not working. Double-digit inflation, generational theft, debating whether or not to hike taxes come January. Obviously, the message was not heard by this administration, and she clearly said, said, his policies. We're talking about his policies. You talked about the U.S. Chamber of Commerce being anti-American earlier in this broadcast. So, I mean, again, that's your position. You're debating that issue. I think it's very American to get out there and say, hey, I disagree. And she's talking about his policies.
Here are loud and clear. The echoes here are loud and clear, and my colleague knows exactly what he's jumping around here. This is old-fashioned baiting once again, and this is, again, going back to the only thing the right are able to serve up right now is hate and distraction and division. And this is dangerous in a country that's on the edge, that's in trouble, that needs help, not hate, and Bachmann's not offering anything constructive.
What is President Obama doing that is anti-American? Yes, in my opinion, there's a huge difference between the Chamber of Commerce and the President of the United States, an organization versus the leader of the free world. Anti-American. And just because it's the policies?
Well, again, double-digit inflation, is that American? Is that great? His policies have more people out of work. I don't think that's very American. And again, it's not Barack Obama personally, the individual, it's his policies. And obviously, what policies he's put forward for the last 2 years have been repudiated by the American public. So more people agree with Michelle Bachmann about his policies.
I want to hear some policies that are good for the American people coming out of Michelle Bachmann. I think we need to listen more carefully to what Don Edwards said on the floor of Congress this week. What's un-American is Americans wondering whether they're going to be able to have a turkey on the table this Thanksgiving because of the kind of policies that Michelle Bachmann is pushing, and maybe it's obscured to many people in the public thanks to our pay-to-play media and the propaganda that was anonymously pushed during the campaign in this last race, and you've talked about that here. But I really think it's time for us to talk about how the American people are hurting and what's going to be done to help.
All right,
not spread this
here's
hate.
Secretary Clinton saying that she is not going to be running for president. Here it is.
I have said it over and over again, and I'm happy to say it on your show as well. I am committed to doing what I can to advance the security, the interests, and the values of the United States of America. I believe that what I'm doing right now is in furtherance of that, and I'm very proud and grateful to be doing it.
So you're done with elective office?
I am. I am very happy doing what I'm doing, and I am not in any way interested in or pursuing anything in elective office.
Scott Hennon, do you believe her?
Well, did you hear that sigh of relief from Barack Obama? I think the big news there really is 2012. Who knows if that'll hold true, but I think the most formidable challenger to him in a primary would be her. But I thought the bigger news there was 2016, when she's swearing off elective office, period, in the future. That, to me, is pretty newsworthy.
Do you believe her?
Do I?
You know, I don't know. Never say never, right? I mean, it's hard to believe. She sounded pretty forceful. I mean, you never know whether to believe these politicians on this question of will you ever run at any time in the future, but 50-50.
Laura Flanders, your thoughts?
She can't say anything else at this point, and nor should she. I think that we in the media need to pay more attention not to what she might do in the future, but what she is doing right now. You know, boosting up these pilotless drone attacks in Pakistan and Afghanistan is sabotaging even the administration's own stated policy. You've got Israel in defiance of everything leading to peace.
But it sounded there like she closed the door. It sounded there like she closed the door forever. And there's a lot of people that are thinking 2016. I mean, there's a lot of Hillary backers that won't give it up. And for her to say absolutely not, I mean, I think that's...
There's always wiggle room. And
okay,
you know
always wiggle room. Laura Flanders, Scott Hennon, good to have you with us tonight.